Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about WWE Smackdown, January 12th, 2024. The Monday Night Raw review for January 16th will be taking place on Thursday. I might even do it tomorrow before Dynamite takes place and give you the Dynamite review the same day as well. So keep an eye out for those two reviews. I might flip it around. I may do Raw tomorrow before Dynamite and then do the AEW Dynamite review on Thursday. Who knows? I could be all over the place. Just keep an eye out for the videos and you'll know what's coming. Anyway, let's get to it. The WWE SmackDown January 12th, 2024 episode I thought was a fairly decent show. It had some very good build. We had a lot of build around the Fatal 4-Way World Championship match for Roman Reigns. I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm also seeing a report about Seth Rollins and suffering a legitimate injury. I can only imagine what might have happened, and of all people, Jinder Mahal being that person that he has that injury with. Go figure. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the episode, shall we? Alright. So, I showed a clip of what happened last week, and we get, we see the Bloodline attacking them during the match, and Nick Aldis announcing that it will be a Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble. A clip after the show is also shown of Paul Heyman telling Roman Reigns about the Fatal 4-Way match and Roman telling him to fix it. Back in the arena, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa attack Cameron Grimes as he is walking down to have his match with fucking, what's his face? Douchebag. The Australian guy. Grayson Waller, yeah. And WWE officials try to break it up, but Solo and Jimmy attack the officials and walk down to the ring. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory leave the ring, and Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso get into the ring, and Heyman says they are not the bad guys. He says the bad guy is that villainous James Bond wannabe, Nick Aldis, who is outside of the ring. Heyman says Aldis put Roman Reigns in a Fatal 4-Way match at the Royal Rumble, where it is practically guaranteed that the Undisputed World Champion of the world will be lost by Roman Reigns. Heyman says that does not make them the bad guy, but the bad guy in this situation is Nick Aldis. And as he says that, Aldis gets on the ring apron and takes the microphone from Heyman. Aldis tells Heyman that this is not a conversation between two equals. The Fatal 4-Way match at the Royal Rumble is a done deal. He says this is the second match in as many weeks that have been ruined by the Bloodline, and it won't happen again. He says they can't ruin the main event of tonight's show because tonight the Bloodline are in the main event of the show. Aldis says the fans braved the cold to join them, and they will get AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton against Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns. Of course, Paul Heyman informs Nick Aldis that Roman Reigns is not there tonight, and Aldis then tells him he is right. Roman Reigns has once again started something that he doesn't seem to want to finish. So Aldis says the Bloodline have until the main event of the tonight's show to find a partner if they like. If not, it's a 3-on-2 handicap match, which, by the way, we haven't gotten a 2-on-3 handicap match in fucking forever. And what they do in the rest of the show is actually very brilliant by the Bloodline and handling the situation, even out the odds. They attacked each and every member of that tag team throughout the show, which was actually very interesting. Way of equaling out the odds for them. So I kind of like that idea and what they did. Aldis tells Heyman good luck and leaves afterwards. We come back from a commercial break. We see Paul Heyman throughout the entire show trying to recruit people to want to take the spot of Roman Reigns, and is unsuccessful, of course, hence why they attacked everyone that's part of the main event. So Heyman tells them not to worry. There are people who want to join the bloodline, and he will find someone to team up with them tonight. Jimmy Uso tells them he is worried and asks Solo if he is worried, and he says he's not really worried at all. He never worries whatsoever. We get Angel and Humberto Carrillo with Santos Escobar against Jaquan Wilde and Cruz del Toro in a tag team match. This was a fairly decent tag team match overall. Helped build the storyline around Santos Escobar and the Rey Mysterio betrayal by Santos. I really enjoyed this match for what it was. And, of course, Angel and Humberto win the match. Personally, I think that seeing a Carlito versus Santos Escobar one-on-one match to open the show of the Royal Rumble might be a good idea. The other option is the United States Championship match with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. So those are two options I would go with opening the show for the Royal Rumble. After the match was over, we get Carmelo Hayes and Nick Aldis are backstage. Aldis tells him he is impressed a lot during the United States tournament, and in comes Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who asks Aldis what he is doing tonight with the show. They ask Carmelo what he is doing on the show, and they tell Hayes he isn't on his level. Carmelo tells Waller he is higher than his level, and Grayson says he just wrestled tonight and can't, but Austin Theory can wrestle him. And Carmelo agrees, and Aldis makes the match. Okay? Pay very close attention to that matchup. If you did pay close attention to that match when you watched the episode, there was a major spot that did not go very well. I believe both Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory got injured because they looked really bad and shaken up during the end of the match. Which I believe the match ended up being thrown out because of it. Or I think it might have been a pinfall, something like that by Austin Theory. I'm not sure. The LWO are walking backstage, and Paul Heyman stops Carlito. He has a red apple and shines it, and he tells Carlito he does not want... Carlito to take this like Adam and Eve, but in the Garden of Sin. Carlito teaming with Solo and Jimmy would be cool. Carlito says he wants a fight, and fighting Escobar would be cool. He grabs the apple from Heyman and walks away. Heyman then tells him the apple and the tag team match are a hand-in-hand deal. I thought that was funny as shit. We see clips of Kevin Owens punching Logan Paul from Smackdown last week, and then a video of Logan Paul airs with him saying that he is not in Nebraska and he spoke to his lawyers because of his black eye. Kevin's cast could be a liability for their match. He says he is ready for their fight, but is Owens ready to face him in a fair fight because he shows up. If he shows up to the Royal Rumble with the cast on, their match is canceled. All right. A clip of Butch and Tyler Bate are at a coffee shop airs. Bate tells Butch he saw his reaction when he showed up on SmackDown. They have been friends for years. Butch tells him not to make him regret giving him that call. The Brawling Brutes is in the past. Bate tells him they finally get the chance to show the world what British Strong Style is all about. Butch looks away with a grin, and that's it. Interesting. I like Tyler Bate. I thought Tyler Bate was very good on NXT UK. He made a very good UK champion. He was the very first UK champion, by the way. And then Pete Dunne, now going by Butch, seems to me that they got a good tag team developing in WWE. I'm really liking their tag team division. Triple H is taking very, very serious interest in the tag team division. It looks like they're getting more and more relevant tag teams that once were and putting them back together that were broken up. So I do like the mentality that Triple H is trying to make a tag team division worth building, because AEW is doing the complete opposite of what they used to do. I don't know what's gone wrong with AEW's tag team division, but they are absolute fucking dog shit right now. Just seems like any tag team is being created, and there's really no division, and there's no fucking actual, ranking system for the tag team titles at this point. It's just anything goes. Anyone can get a title opportunity for the tag team titles, while WWE, they have a set of teams that if they're on a hot streak, they eventually earn a title shot. And I'm liking that. I did watch the tag team match with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. I thought that was a great matchup against the Judgment Day last night. I was really busy watching the playoff game between the Bucks and Eagles. I was very close of winning a nice chunk of change. Unfortunately, I fell short in that Eagles-Bucks game because I bet on the wrong team. Boy, did I eat it big for that. And I was not very happy with it. 32-9, you sons of bitches. Anyway, Matt 87 Eagles should get a good laugh out of that one. Anyway, Bianca Belair versus Bayley in a one-on-one match on Smackdown this past Friday. This match was whatever, I didn't really pay much attention to this. These KOD, Bianca Belair wins. Her hair was used in this match. It got tied up to the rope. It was whatever. Basically, the whole point of this match was to eventually have Bayley kind of be pushed to the side, which is what happened later on in the show. They kind of said, let's kind of pump the brakes, kick back, stay a little away from us, that kind of thing. It seems like they're kind of just separating from one another, Bayley and the Damage Control, which at this point I don't give a fuck about Damage Control. They've been fucking garbage for the last year and a half. They've been garbage from day one, truthfully, in my personal opinion. They don't seem to be relevant at all from the moment they started. They seemed promising, and then they kind of dropped off of the face of the earth. So a video package of Kevin Owens airs. He tells Logan that they both know the cast is not an advantage. If it is, it's for Logan because he has a broken hand, but it won't keep him from being at the Royal Rumble. He understands what Logan is trying to do. He tells Logan they should talk about it face-to-face next week on SmackDown, where Logan gets to have the biggest honor of his miserable career by being a guest on the Kevin Owens show. So that should be interesting. I really like the video package they did with Kevin Owens. Very nice work by WWE. And it was actually different style and everything else. So I enjoyed seeing that. That was a nice little touch to their normal, everyday backstage promos. So I actually appreciate what Triple H was trying to do there. Next up, we had Damage Control backstage, and in comes Bayley. What that was all, and in comes Bayley. What was that all about, she asked, and Dakota says the referee was looking at them, and they did not want to cause a disqualification. The plan Bayley had for them to have all the gold, Bayley has to win the Royal Rumble alone. Bayley tells her they are stronger together, and Dakota tells her she's still Dakota tells her she still has a Rumble to win. So Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits walk down to the ring. Lashley tells AOP, Authors of Pain, and Karrion Kross that they tried to take them out last week. Jumping them from behind did not give them the upper hand. It got them in a fight they can't win. Lashley says when he and the Street Profits have a problem with someone, they take it face to face and approach things. They don't hide. They walk down the ring, roll up their sleeves, clench their fists, and get ready for a fight. He calls out Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain to the ring. The lights go out, and out comes Paul Ellering. Long time ago, he was in NXT with Authors of Pain around 2016, 2017. Damn, was that a fucking long time ago? That was about 7+ years ago. So, hell of a long time ago. Especially when NXT was actually good. He points to the Titantron, and we see a video of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. They talk about how they are going to break people on the outside. He tells Lashley that him and his embarrassing Street Profits are now on the top of their list. Why they're on top of their list, I have no fucking idea. Authors of Pain and Karrion Kross being teamed together seems like an interesting idea, but I don't know why they are together. I also have been missing out on episodes, so anyone in the comment section would like to tell me what the hell is going on with those two groups, just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to listen to you as to why Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain are actually together here on television. I mean, from the surface and on paper, I don't mind it. I think it's a great combination. Gives Karrion Kross something to do, and not to mention, I would really like to see a street fight between these two teams in a 6-man, no holds barred tornado tag match, and see these guys fucking tear the entire fucking Tropicana field into smithereens. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. Let's see here. So, he says they're on the top of their list, and who better to enter the dawn of the new era than the two of the most dangerous men the world has ever known, the Authors of Pain. And the most sadistic person the world has ever known, Paul Ellering. He says they are the final testament. So they're going based off of Bible terminology. Okay. The video cuts, and we see Lashley and the Street Profits in the ring. We cut to the back, and Heyman is approached by Pretty Deadly. What a sad, pathetic fucking segment. They were interested in teaming with the Bloodline, but only one of them was supposed to team. So they said, nah, we're a package deal, so we didn't know that, so sorry, but not sorry. Goodbye. We send our apologies, and they walk away. What a fucking joke. Not interested in that fucking tag team whatsoever. Can't fucking stand them. Lashley and the Street Profits are backstage. Heyman approaches Lashley and tells him they have known each other for a long time, and as a longtime friend, he can do him a favor and work out that aggression tonight by teaming up with Solo and Jimmy. Lashley says he has known him for a long time, but the only time he wants to be in the ring with the Bloodline is when he's standing across Roman Reigns to win the World Championship. I have no beef with that. Lashley and the Street Profits walk away, and Heyman stands angry. Okay, Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory in a one-on-one match. As I already mentioned, these two ended the match with a no contest. So it was a no contest because of the one spot. So Theory jumps up to the top, to the second rope, and goes for a Spanish fly, but both Hayes and Theory land. Both Hayes' hands land on Theory's face, and both men look hurt and the referee calls for the bell. Apparently, WrestleView.com can't seem to fucking do proper grammar here, yet they're running a fucking wrestling website. Makes a lot of sense, sure. Anyway, the spot was really terrible. They both landed really bad on the ring, or in the ring, I should say. And go figure, me talking about their grammar, I can't even speak properly either. But Theory and Carmelo Hayes both land very bad on the inside the ring. Very bad spot here. It looked pretty bad. You could definitely notice that both men were injured. I think both of them suffered a concussion. They're probably going to be out for a week or two. So you probably will see Austin Theory maybe cutting some promos on television, but he won't be doing any physical activity in the ring until probably a couple of weeks out. Maybe even after the Royal Rumble. Who knows? So we cut backstage and we see Jimmy Uso talking to Solo, telling him he knows Paul Heyman found them a partner. Heyman tells him that he was unable to do so and that they're going to have to go in this alone pretty much on their own. And that's pretty much what takes place. This leads to them attacking other people that are a part of this match. Give me 1 second here. And there is no one that is worthy to stand in the ring with the Bloodline. Auditions are over. He has full faith in Jimmy and Solo. He is not worried. Jimmy tells him he is worried. Solo looks at Jimmy and says he is not and walks away. Jimmy says if Solo isn't worried, he isn't worried and walks away as well. Jimmy has really turned out to be a fucking idiot. I don't even like the way Jimmy is. I mean, Jay is normal. I mean, he's not coming across like a fucking moron, but Jimmy is coming across like a fucking ass-kissing idiot. Contract signing involving Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles was announced, and it will happen next week, this coming Friday, actually. And Randy Orton comes down to the ring, but as he's walking down, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso attacked him from behind. Back from commercial, we see Randy Orton walking to the back. So Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa versus AJ Styles and LA Knight. It takes place throughout the majority of the show. And Randy Orton later on shows up at the end of the match to perform his finishing maneuver, the RKO for the pinfall and the 1-2-3 on Jimmy Uso. So Jimmy continues to eat L's through the Bloodline. Why he is part of them? Their group, I have no fucking idea. I think it should just be Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns. That's all I think. Jimmy Uso should be wiped off the fucking face of the earth. He has no business on television. He's by far the weakest fucking Uso Bloodline member of them all. I think Jey Uso is far better than Jimmy. I think it's creative. I don't think it's really wrestling-wise that makes me dislike him. It's more of his character he's portraying. I think it's absolutely dog shit. And I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Uso right now, especially what he did at SummerSlam. I thought that was fucking idiotic. Made absolutely no sense. And it's just whacked, really, personally. That's the way I feel about that. But yeah, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight pick up the victory with an RKO from Randy Orton and the pinfall. And that is pretty much it. That is your show. After the match was over, though, Solo attacks Orton after the match, but AJ Styles hits Solo with the phenomenal forearm. LA Knight hits Solo with the BFT, and LA and AJ argue in the middle of the ring. Solo gets to his feet, and Orton hits him with the RKO. Orton rolls to the outside and grabs Jimmy Uso, hits him with some uppercuts, and AJ Styles to the outside, and he hits Jimmy with a right hand. Orton grabs the steel steps and hits Jimmy with them, and AJ Styles throws Jimmy over the barricade. Orton clears the announce table and Orton and AJ lift Solo up onto LA Knight's shoulders, and he power bombs Solo through the announce table, and we see Paul Heyman grab his phone and calls Roman Reigns, and SmackDown goes off the air. So, fairly decent show. I think that they did a good job with storytelling here. I think they highlighted some good stars. I think they're slowly but surely making everyone, as much as they can fit on the show, important. Cameron Grimes being attacked, I think that was kind of idiotic. I don't know why the Bloodline attacked him. He had nothing to do with that. But overall, I was fairly pleased with this show. I didn't think it was terrible. And again, storyline progression was very important on this show, very storyline heavy, mostly. And everybody got a shot to show off their shit. And I think this was a fairly put together show. Was it a blowaway show? No, not really. It was an okay show. Is it something you can go back and watch? You can watch it, miss it. It's not really that big of a deal. The only thing that I really would care to watch is just to go ahead and watch for the storylines. And that's really all that was important on this show. Everything else was kind of like, whatever. But good wrestling took place on the show as well, so it wasn't a bad show at all again. So at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.